This
You'll have
conference
to
will
ask
now
her.
be recorded.
You'll have to ask her about getting her braces off. She's super pumped.
Oh, when's that happen?
End of April. I'm gonna go ahead and call this February 26th, 2024 meeting to order. All are present. We'll stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Move to approve the agenda?
Second that.
Yeah, yeah, I'd like to add under new business. Eric's not, oh, Eric is here. I'd just like to talk about, now that Eric has both of his licenses, about him, the possibility of, if he would even accept the position. I think that was kind of what we talked about as the water inspector, if that's the right title. What is it? Water operator?
Supervisor.
Water supervisor? Okay.
So that'll go to number 8.
Oh.
Yep.
I didn't
Right.
even look on this.
Yeah, on the back.
Yep, number 8. Water supervisor? Water operator.
Okay.
Thank you.
Motion to approve the agenda with addition.
Second.
Have a motion by Jody and a second by Janda to approve the agenda with the addition. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Approve consent agenda items?
I'll second that.
Have a motion by Lauren and a second by Jason to approve the consent agenda items. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any public comments?
Yes, louder.
Any public comments? Okay, we'll move down to requests and presentations. Request to suspend minimum housing code by Kim White.
I wrote a letter, asking for a hardship variance until June 1st, having the camper off the property completely. So I can have my last surgery done. Wait, in years. And all I need is one last surgery done. And I'd like to have it complete. I'm not normal like you guys are. I can't run with my grandchildren. I can't hold my grandchildren, not even a baby. I have a little 3-year-old granddaughter that asks me, Grandma, will you push me on my bicycle? And I tell her, honey, I can't do it. She asks me why. I have to explain to her. She asks me, will you pull me in my wagon? I says, honey, I can't do it. She asks me why. I have to re-explain it to her. She says, Nana, what can you do with me? I says, I can swing with you. She says, well, can you sit on the carpet and play Barbies with me? I says, honey, I can't do that. I says, I can sit in a reclining chair and play Barbies with you. And she doesn't understand. And now my youngest daughter's having my 19th grandchild, her first boy. And the only way I'm gonna be able to hold that baby is if I sit in a chair and hold it. And you guys don't realize what it feels like to be an opiate for the rest of your life. Morphine and fentanyl. It screws up your mind really bad. There's days I have to ask him what day it is, or what time it is, or what I have to do for that day. And all I'm asking is till June 1st to get the camera completely up. So I can have this last surgery done.
Oh, Tony, weren't you working with or our attorney or the?
Basically, long story short, the only thing that we can do is suspend the enforcement of the action, and as you see up here, it's basically due to fire, flood, wind, which I don't know necessarily this meets the circumstances of that. So ultimately, it's your decision based on your understanding of the ordinance.
Can we suspend this just, and then take any future cases on an independent or on a one-on-one
You
basis?
can, I would argue to the council that if you choose to do this, you do potentially set precedents.
That's the problem.
I look at it as if you had children, one has to go to a concert, one has to go to the other concert. And this child is a wild child, and this child is a nice child. You look at those separately, even though they're the same circumstances.
But this is not technically this is not due to fire, wind, or flood.
Well, part of it's due to the flood. Mold, and can't live in the basement.
Right, but even if, correct me if I'm wrong, but even if the basement was habitable, she could not live in the basement, correct?
If it was, yeah, I'd probably go in the basement. And then the camp would just sit empty or develop, one of the two. But then I got another question. That mobile home park right out here, is that legal for campers to be in there?
No.
What was the reason on that?
It's not licensed as a RV park.
Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm. I would have to, that's a county licensing thing, I think, so it's not a city licensing.
What would it
thing.
take to change it?
Don't know off the top of my head.
What about the RV park? Oh, see, by the lake.
I mean, I got this request on Friday when I forwarded it to all you, so I haven't had a chance to even talk to the county or to our city attorney about this. So I would strongly caution the council not to be rash about any decisions without having some legal opinion based on what's happening, but I could definitely would if we could try to figure out if the trailer park is an option, would that be an option?
Well, yeah,
Would that be an option?
See, I mow the lawn there and take care of the snow for them, and they've always told me if I need to move in there to go ahead.
Okay, well, then,
But see, I don't wanna stay there on a permanent basis either.
no, but if the plan ultimately is to get her through her surgery and into a place where she can be where she needs to be, and that's the end of this, and that's the June 1st is the day, whether that's there or there, and we can come to a good solution for everybody. I personally feel that that's probably a better solution than trying to be there. And if you already have an established relationship with them, maybe that's a better way to do it. So I guess depending on what the council thinks, I can definitely speak to the county and to them to see if there's any way we can get a conditional use permit or blessing from the county or some type of
Correct.
I mean, I'd be
temporary
fine- I'd be fine
permit
with that.
or.
I think that's a good alternative. And now, until then, they wouldn't have to move.
Well,
because
but
they
he's-
requested to
As
stay.
far as I'm concerned, and I know as far as the chief of police is concerned, as long as he's engaging us with trying to solve the situation, we're not taking any enforcement action on the conditions, so.
That's what I would recommend.
So if you're amenable to that and the council's amenable to that, I can call our county attorney or our city attorney tomorrow and I can reach out to the licensing aspects as far as the trailer park goes and see if they would allow for an RV to stay there until, you get to that point. If that would be amenable to you guys. I think maybe that should be our next step and if we can see if that works, is that fair?
Yeah, cause the last trailer that we had to deal with it, I was in touch with Mary up there anyway, and she was the one who told me to shut the water off there.
Okay.
I do have one question about it. If that is something that they do not agree to, are we, at that point, I know we have to make some type of decision, but has there been any talks of like looking into like the RV park at Wasika or the one in Allendale where it is still close by that you could, that has that licensee already to be able to park there?
Well, the biggest problem is the time of the year. That's the biggest problem. Nobody wants to open up for anything.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, well, Wasika's not open yet.
I wasn't
Allendale's
sure.
not open yet. So, but if the council is okay with me doing that, I'd be happy to look into that if they're happy with that.
Well, I would also say for you to say, let's ask them to see if they would say, they would open it up earlier because of the hardship case.
Yeah, I can reach out, but, and I'll also submit her request and this ordinance to our city attorney as well, and get an opinion from him, so I have something for the next meeting for you, so this all not
I think that's fair.
come together.
Yeah, 'cause I had, when I was talking to him up there, I said, I don't wanna cause a problem for you guys either, you know,
Well, and I think we're all trying to, I mean, we all understand, we're trying to
solve the problem.
solve the problem, so. If that's fair, let's keep moving forward. Fair?
You want me to come and see you about?
No, that's fine. I will, if you wanna stop by, will you just stop by tomorrow or sometime this week and leave me your phone number so I can touch base with you guys? And then we'll go from there.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, guys.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you bet.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, resolution 24-04, resolution establishing bank authority.
So I apologize. The last time I thought I could just do the resolution, they actually needed a number. So this is just basically that key bank resolution with a number attached to it.
Move to approve.
Have a motion by Lauren and a second by Jando to approve resolution 24-04. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We're down to Bob.
Evening, everybody.
Hello.
Care Center. As you see, our average census, that is for the month of January, was 34. Our current census today went up from 33 to 34. And we've got some, I'm working with a group, it's down in the notes, trying to improve that here in the next 3 weeks to a month. At no cost to us. So that's a good.
I was just gonna ask that.
We currently work with that company, AHI out of the cities, and we get some staffing from them right now. But this gal is gonna help us, and we're gonna look at referral sources and streamlining our entire admission process, contracts, staffing put into this. We've got a lot of changes that we can look at making, some training for the nursing staff as well. And she's gonna help us with that at no cost.
Is that a marketing group or what is it?
AHI is the American Health Institute, and they are big into long-term
Private or
care. It's a private company. They are big into long-term care, trying to make the care of seniors better. It's not cheap, but
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
what, do they do training or do they just do marketing or they just do consulting?
training, marketing, consulting, staffing. Point of fact, I think you've had a couple of administrators.
Yeah, we've used them in the past up to
Interim.
2-3 years
Yep.
ago. They're good at what they do.
Yes, they are.
I may be asking you to speculate, but it says find out why people are not choosing NRS.
Yeah.
Can you say why personally?
Not definitively,
Okay.
but a speculation on my part is that, and I can tell you all of the referrals that we received in for the last few months. I say the acuity level is too high. Okay, we want to bring our staff training up to meet that, so that the doctors look at us and say, hey, you know what, New Richland takes those IVs, New Richland takes those type of things, and they're our go-to person. So we want to be that good at what we do, and it's just providing nurse training, at our advisory board meeting, somebody says, that gives them a sense of pride in their job as well, as nurses. So I think that's an important fact. So training and being a specialty, having a specialty is gonna help us a lot.
I may be digging into the weeds a little bit too far here, but I think, I've been here 20 years, but I'm not from here. And I think there's a lot of pride in the care center, that it was a lot for where people from this area wanted to take their family, so they were close by.
Yep.
And I've seen this where I grew up, that as families get smaller and people went away from town and went off to the big city, there aren't as many families staying in the community, so now you get single families that don't have family here, so maybe that's the reason. They're not there.
Yep.
So maybe
That
you
is
need to
correct.
focus your look at not being so, and I don't like saying this,
Mhm.
not being so family oriented, but looking at what we can do for anybody.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We have expanded that draw. It's just a guess, but I'm sure even 20 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago, the focus was in a 20-mile radius around the town, because we're community and family oriented. That's the way we are. And long-term care is a tough business. You want those people in your community staying at your house. And that is very much a good point. The fact that, my kids all live in Colorado.
Yep.
I'm the only one here. Why am I here? So they moved to Colorado. But on our side, we actually had a gentleman, not too long ago, last fall. He's from originally, and I don't recall why. I think it was a child that lived in Iowa. So he went to stay at a home in Iowa. Well, the kid moved. Now he's stuck down there with nobody. And we moved him back up here because he says, I want to be in my hometown. So there's both sides of the story on that one. But
Okay, thank
yeah.
you.
Well, the other issue is they're staying at home, kids and
Yeah.
whatever, taking care of them too.
That's right. So, we did have 60 referrals. We had 5 admissions and 5 discharges, so you really didn't gain a lot of ground there. That's kind of tough to accept. We initially accepted 10, but they went to other places. This gal that I'm working with now, her name is Amy, from AHI. She is kind of digging into that to find out why people that we accepted. I mean, first, hey, I want to be first, right? In 15 minutes, the DON says, yep, we'll take them. And we planned for it. We got everything ready to go. We put their name in our computer, and the next day show up, poof, oh, they went somewhere else. We want to know why. So we're working on that as well. You guys can read some of that stuff there. Last month, as I looked at the entire list, I looked at that, and we could have a full building with 45 residents in the building, potentially 45 residents in the building. Had we had the training levels that we're looking at doing in the next month, last month, we could have a full building.
I thought we did something with 5 beds or something, didn't we?
We put them on layaway.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So layaway, all that means is we still own the beds. We're just not paying the annual bed tax on it.
Gotcha.
So we could get them back, but it's a process to go through. So I'm hoping to fill up to 45, maintain that for a period of time, and then be able to bring them back.
Gotcha.
I remember.
Because once you lose them, you'll never get them back.
Right.
So, financials. I have some bad news on our financials. I don't have them. It's not a fault of the people in our building. Lindsay is phenomenal. She's doing a great job. All my department managers are doing a great job managing their departments. there's a company that we're working with in payroll, and they kind of dropped the pumpkin on us. So I'm waiting on some information from them before I can deliver a true financial. After looking at it, I believe.
I
that
thought
we
you
will-
were gonna say the accountant screwed it up.
We wouldn't be surprised.
It's only
No.
money, I'll make more. But we're looking at potentially breaking even because we did have a slight increase in the census average. And we reduced some staffing dollars that went to agency staffing because our staff stepped up. They picked up a lot of hours in December and January. And, like the third week of January, they picked up a lot of extras so that we didn't have to have so many agency staffing hours. And our nursing staff this last month, our director of nursing and our nurse manager and our infection control person have all been working for. So next month, I look for that agency number to shrink even more, which we definitely need.
Okay.
So that's kind of with the financials. I do hope that I think we'll break even for the month of January. Staffing, we have openings. Certified nurse aides, RNs, LPNs, full and part-time positions, days, evenings, and overnights. Looking forward to having anybody and everybody apply. The worst we can do is tell you no. The best we can do is tell you yes, and you can start tomorrow. We were fortunate enough, though, we've hired 4 nurses in the last month. It's not a January number, but in February, we hired 4 nurses. We still need a few. So please, if you know anybody, forward that to us and we'll fly. Some plans for the near future, and this is just something new. March 23rd, we're gonna have an Easter egg hunt starting at 10 a.m. for all the kids in our community, 10 and under. Donations are welcome. Candy or little, I don't know, something that fits in an egg. Little trinkets, fidget spinners or figure puppets or whatever. So if you would like to help out with that, that'd be great. If you'd like to come and bring your kids, that'd be wonderful. Residents love that. May 13th through the 17th, we are going to celebrate National Nursing Home Week. And this year's theme is the Golden Age of Radio. So that should be interesting. All you that on the city council doing that karaoke thing on Friday nights, come on down. We need some singers, man. We got Tony, baritone, right? August 2nd, we are planning to have, now that COVID is over, federal government said it doesn't exist anymore, it's over. We're gonna plan for a family picnic for everyone, staff and their families and the residents and their families, all of you. I would love to have a good turnout for that. Pretty excited about it. So, something that hasn't been done for a while. We've already secured entertainment. So now we just gotta work on the food and the invite list. Lastly, I would like to say something about our advisory board. We struggled all last year trying to get, it was a numbers thing. We got 3 new people last fall. They've been great. The people, Lauren, that have been on there for a while are doing great. Our chairman, Terry Hansen, after 12 years, has decided to step down. So we thank Terry for all his hard work. He's been through a lot. And we're looking forward to this.
You got another opening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually filled it already.
we filled it.
Good deal.
And that person that filled the slot is Susie Abbott. She is a replacement person for an advisory board position.
Oh, thanks, Susie.
Thank you. That's all I have. Any questions? What do you think of that?
I don't have anything for you,
Move to approve.
but I will next.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Lauren and a second by Jason to approve the care center report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bob.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
All right. I don't have a whole lot. Straight River was out to fix the meter. I got one light, outside light left. There's a little underground wiring issue, so we gotta fix that. Safety data sheets are all updated for the year. Equipment is updated for the year. Got all that done, emergency numbers, all the business is all updated. Overhead door has not gotten hold of me yet about the door, and I called them on January 9th.
Try Prime Garage Door out of Rochester, Owatonna.
So get another quote.
It shouldn't have to wait that long.
No.
Yeah. So I didn't know,
Oh, there's somebody in. Isn't there?
unless you want me to call them
I
tomorrow.
don't know if they're still open.
Oh,
Do you want me to call them again tomorrow?
You can
or-
try.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
everything's in motion now, it just might take a call.
If not, I would say suggest going on to the next, to try to.
Try overhead door in Mankato too.
Where's this one?
Or Albert Lee.
Okay, I'll get on that tomorrow. The generator, we need to decide. We need to decide if it's GSS.
Yes,
or- Okay, so, they need to get put on the list.
you and Eric need to get them on the same list as the cycle.
Yeah,
They come spring, fall.
So we'll go with Eric and make sure that just the two of you need to get on the same list.
thank you. Yeah, because that's gonna have to get taken care of. I can't do the whole.
No, they should just automatically do that when they fire up ours.
Okay, perfect. And I run mine once a month,
Yeah, that's fine.
so
Yeah, this one automatically does it, but they'll.
Yeah, I have
just, well. it
I
doesn't
sell
matter.
them.
Yeah, just get with Eric and then make sure they just get it on the same schedule so they do it at the same.
That makes me happy. Okay. Now the chloride variance is coming through.
Yeah, so they have to do a public online, thing. None of you have to be involved unless you really want to come listen to that information.
Yeah, I think I'm busy.
But it's probably gonna be April 16th, 17th, or 18th at 6 p.m. So
What
I'll,
days of the week are they?
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights. So once Shell and I have confirmed
just
that
like a
date, I
Skype
will just
thing
let
or
you know, but it's just I think it's online, isn't it?
I'm not quite sure. I didn't really go through the whole thing. There's a lot of things that I have to do for this chloride variance, so it's 15 years worth of extra work, which is, it's fine. But the first 3 months are
It may
pretty
be
heavy.
here.
So I have a bunch of samples that I have to take that's required under this new variance. So I just need to make sure, what lab you guys use, if you use UC labs like I do.
That's what you say, you see?
UC, and that if I send them in that, I just put it under the city.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, they're just the
There's not
required
much
ones
you
that
can
they're
do about it,
asking.
so.
Yeah,
You have to do it, it's a state
it
requirement.
just shows like where your chloride is coming from. So I will pick the few spots that I think where it's coming from, and those are the samples that are taken. And
How many samples is
go
there?
from there.
How many samples do you have to send in?
Well, I'll take one from over by the bus garage, county shop, car wash, school, kind of 4 different places in town to kind of give us a better idea of where it's coming from. And then go from there to try to get those lowered down.
Do you go with the thought of going someplace and taking a sample where you're pretty sure it isn't coming from? So you can have
Well,
a balance
yeah.
saying, yes, I know it's here. but-
well, I know how much comes in at the plant,
Okay.
so, I mean, I could take one at the creek before it even gets to town. I could do that, but that's,
Because what if it's coming in town?
I mean, it's kind of
Probably
a,
not, but
yeah, well, it'd be whoever's, upstream
Yeah.
of you, but
Yep.
it's what's coming through our plant is the concern for going out. So whatever's coming in through here.
okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, it can be done, it's just how many do you wanna pay for? That's the thing.
But that would also, if you did both, you would know you're right if
Yeah.
there wasn't anything coming from here.
Just like
Yes,
the
from there.
water.
Yep.
You know, take it from there too. But it's coming through here. So we just need to figure out, you know, it's only required to take so many, so no sense to do 20 of them when you could do 4 and then try to figure out what to do about it. They just want a plan of action. So
We'll put that plan together after we've got the test results back.
No, the plan's already there. The
it's
plans
there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just stuff I have to do. I'll have to put out education materials, which I'll have to send in water bills.
We have to do this salting
Management plan.
management plan.
Some towns do rebates for water softeners they do so many a year. You guys would have to look into that, but some towns do that. You know, say for if you have a 15-year-old water softener.
Mhm.
Some towns have their softeners go out onto their own property into a well, a wet well that they have to take care of, just instead of going through the sewer. There's all kinds of different things.
So you think that's where most of it's coming from?
Softeners, you know, we live in Minnesota. We have salt, we have a lot of I&I going through the sewer, so whatever hits the storm off of the county roads here in town that are
sure.
done and 30, that's some big areas.
Do you predict it to be less because we've had less salting this year versus?
Well, I was lucky, 2 weeks ago on the 8th, it was 74. It hasn't not been on a 74 since 2018 of August of 2018.
What would it have been, you'd think, if it wasn't for a different year?
390,
it's not bad.
450, something like that.
Sure.
But now this last week it was 340, so that's over. We gotta stay under like 230, so we need to do something to keep it down.
Mhm.
But there's lots of options.
Well, then I got a question for you. Do they take in account the 30s here? Because
Oh, yeah, they
we
do.
don't have no control
They,
over that.
they don't care.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
You gotta be,
They don't, no, they don't care.
No, that's where
It's-
we have to
It's
fix
our
it.
management plan for
Yes.
salting the roads. That's,
Yeah.
it's our
but we
responsibility.
have no control over that.
No.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's difficult. It is
That's
very.
big government.
It's that
Welcome
gray
to
area.
the state of Minnesota.
Yeah, it's a big.
It's the same, it's the same thing. We don't have any control over Broadway for the most part, or Third, or Aspen,
Yeah.
or Birch,
Yeah.
so.
They're coming.
All we can do is make sure that our storms don't leak, our sewers don't, you know, have any cracks or anything else bringing that in. But we just have to make sure we just have things
So
that we gotta do.
I'm just thinking here, so would it be advantageous to offer a rebate to get it down from anybody's water softeners?
Some towns do it.
Where is the money coming from?
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, would it be advantage? Would we get less fines? Because
We don't get
No,
we're not getting
you're not gonna get.
We're not getting fined yet.
No.
We won't, because they're never gonna get this under control.
Yeah.
That's why it's a variance for 15
Okay.
years.
I'm gonna work really hard.
Gotcha. Now it makes sense when you're talking about it that way.
Yeah,
Because this is the variance.
Somebody
this is the-
needed a
this is the
job up
variance
there.
now.
Yeah.
In 10 years, there's gonna be a different variance because
A
it's
whole
something they
new
can't control, and then in 10 years, it's gonna be a different variance they
Sure.
can't control, and it's just gonna
Yeah,
keep
it'll
moving.
just keep continuing.
Okay.
I got
But, and we are working on the I&I. We're working on the.
And for your information, the city of New Richland through this process, so they go through and they track this monthly. And if we were to take this on a 12-month period and divide this by 12, we're under the chloride requirement.
Yeah, makes sense.
But they won't, that's not how they
They won't
do it. 1 month, if you exceed it, you're over it.
And this plan that we went on Thursday can kind of sort of help.
Well, that would help.
That will
With the
help.
It'll
I&I.
help, anything helps, you know, education helps, everything does.
69I helps.
Anytime you improve pipes that don't have cracks in it, you're gonna have improvement.
Okay.
So-
There's a few changes that Eric and Braden have done at the water plant that made a huge increase, a huge
Oh.
difference.
Huge difference,
Good.
So, I
huge
mean,
difference. So, yeah,
That's great.
there's little things, yeah,
it's a good thing,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, there's no, I mean, the permanent cost is the permanent cost is the permanent cost.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. All we can do is just, make a plan and just try to help it, you know.
So you
There's a lot
gotta,
of-
you gotta submit that plan then?
Yeah, it's already been submitted and it's gone through a public comment period for the last, 60 to 30 days?
Now,
or-
yeah, then we'll have to make a plan, a management plan.
Yeah,
on
so
that.
they've sent us a spreadsheet where basically Shell has to do things every 3, 6, 9, 12 months, 15 months.
Is that scribbling mean something?
Just how much we can take in a day,
Of what?
water,
Just water?
waste.
Oh, waste.
Wastewater. Yeah, that's what we can take in a day, and then wet weather, that's how much I can take in.
Is that a good number or a wild number?
Yeah,
or
we're way
average?
under, I mean, right now I'm only bringing in 90,000. 120 maybe at the most
Daily.
a day. Yeah.
Okay.
And when it flooded, yeah, that was like 15 million, but if it would have been at the 1 million, that plant is set up for 1.2 million, they say.
Cool.
Is that without the garbage coming through or with the garbage?
Yeah,
With,
right.
with the stakes and rocks and
Yeah.
everything else. Otherwise, everything is going pretty good. We did camera 4th Street. Did I send you the pictures of that?
Don't remember.
Okay, well, I'll send them tomorrow, because that street is pretty bad. And, I don't know, that's about it. Snail catcher's working well.
I was just gonna ask you about snails.
It's working wonderful. Yeah.
Still have a
Very
lot
good.
coming out.
Yeah.
Will we ever get rid of them, or is?
Well, you're not gonna get rid of them.
And it's a good thing to have them.
It's a
Yeah.
good thing to
Okay,
have
good.
them, but I'm catching them before they destroy the rest of the plant.
That's just
So they're
easy.
doing their job and I'm catching them and disposing of them before they wreck all the pipes. So
Can we have a snail feed and come and
you
eat it?
could if you wanted, they're like this little, tiny little things. But no, it's working great and I was glad to have that done. So otherwise, you guys have any questions?
Nope,
Okay.
good job.
Yes.
Move to approve people service report.
I'll second that.
Have a motion by Jody and a second by
Thank you,
Jason
Shel.
Thank you.
to approve people service report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Move down to the street department, maintenance department.
Hey everyone,
Hello.
we had a pretty good month for the blue cards, it's kind of our average right now. And then I know you guys have kind of heard through Tony, Tinewell, they come every year for a check on our wells.
Hey, can we back up a little bit?
Yeah, but
Hey, you got 33 blue cards out of how many residents?
500,
515 meters, I think we read.
Thank you.
so, yeah, so when we're working on well one, and when they pulled well one, everything went good. They cambered it, put the pump back down, and a rock went through the impeller. I don't know, have you guys heard?
Yeah, that's where we approved that last meeting.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so.
All right, well, we can know that stuff. And then we had we started sweeping on 6. I think that's probably a record.
Yeah.
And we are gonna continue that in the next couple weeks. Maybe we need a little rain. It's pretty dry in there. We had a water line break on 6th Street. And underneath that, sorry, let's start over. On 6th Street, we had another water line break that we had this summer. I don't remember if you guys remember that. It's within a foot of our hole, the one that we already replaced this summer. So is what we're gonna do, we're actually gonna we think we maybe have a bad pipe in there. So is what we're gonna do, we're gonna take 16 feet out and replace that. We think it might be just a bad pipe that we got it 20, 30 years ago. So that'll be, probably taken care of within the next month, I would think, so. Bolton and McCain, looked at our well. We had that other meeting last week. Braden and I did put in that new, pump for the backwash, and that did the ticket. So we're actually catching up to our, yeah, we're catching up, so. And then, at the beginning of this month, we were working on the emergency trailer and, got it, not all of it done.
Just about.
We got a lot of it done, so we put that back in and dumped the wastewater. So, Tonka came, last
Friday.
And, we learned a lot of information. So Chad came down there just to see what was going on. But I think
He
we're.
likes to use a lot of big words.
Okay. See an engineer.
He just as well be if he's not.
But I think we're going back uphill again.
Yeah.
I do believe. So, we are gonna have to shock the water filter. We're planning on Thursday night. So, and then Friday morning, we'll start the filter all over again. And
Will anybody notice that?
it should. Cause that should all go in the backwash going, she's the only
To
one
me.
that's gonna notice it.
Okay.
I already have a plan.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, the news is way more positive than we had anticipated. So
yes, it was a good,
we were anticipating having to replace all the media completely from top to bottom and
Oh, I remember that,
stuff,
yeah.
and we were not gonna have to. So,
it was a good day for us.
Yeah.
What is the medium?
It's
Sand.
it's sand and stuff that the water runs through to the ground.
Gravel, sand and then gravel, and then it kind of comes down through.
It ain't any special stuff, though, is it?
Yes, it is.
It is?
It comes out of Iowa, I do believe. Yeah.
Okay.
Deline started on the project for, time, and they're supposed to be here this morning. They got delayed, and they're supposed to be here first thing in the morning, so. I gotta get back into, exercising these, utilities, these valves. We talked about it last month. And I think there's 35 of them that we want to do. 5 are up at the wastewater, and the other 30 are for the streets.
How long does that take you to do 30?
Well, he says he can do 2 an hour, so.
So that means about 1 an hour on ours, because he can't hardly turn any of them.
Yeah.
Hence the reason why the last.
It's not you guys doing it, it's somebody you bringing in as a contractor?
And they wash them all out and get all the stuff out and
Okay.
then exercise them and then. I strongly suggest that we do that, and then that's gonna give us a lot better idea of which valves are good and which valves are bad, because we are in the old part of the.
I was just gonna ask, are some of those in those project areas that we saw on
Yes, they are.
Thursday night that we may replace them next, whatever we do that?
So,
Well, I know there's 2 up on First Street that don't even work, because that was where the last water main break was that we just shut the whole town
I
off.
remember that.
and we really don't wanna do that again.
So you need approval for this utility service to come in?
And I would like 3 days, at least 3 days.
$3,500. I'll make a motion that we approve having the JNR Water Utility Service come in and exercise our valves.
Second.
For, was it 3480, approximately $3,500.
Yeah.
I have a motion by Jody and a second by Lauren to approve up to 3480 for JR Water Utility Services. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
All right, and then, Winslow Pump gave us a couple quotes on, 2 gate valves. If you open that letter there, or that, from the other day when Corey was here.
Yeah.
Those 2 gate valves are actually in there,
Oh, I remember that.
and, they're wore out, they're junk in the, you cannot replace, they can't.
Can't
put new
reverse the
in.
guts
You
in
can't
them.
put new guts in them.
Are they all on First Street, or both of them?
No, they're in the water plant.
Yeah,
Water
this is water plant.
Oh,
Booster pumps.
But I went off and, I really think that Braden and I could put them in. So I went with another company just to see how close they were on the gate bills, and if it was me, I'd go with the GSD and us do it ourselves, so save us somewhere around.
That's about half price.
$3,800.
Yeah.
Are these back ordered probably too then?
I bet you will be there in 2 days.
GSD's got a corporate or warehouse in Mankato.
It was unbelievable how quick we get.
We order stuff today, it's here tomorrow.
Perfect.
So DSG, you're saying?
Yeah, it's $800 cheaper, so for just the valve, so I think that.
They are starting to leak a little bit too,
Are
just
they?
so you're aware.
Started.
Sorry, they have been for a while, but might be one day where they might be just gushing.
You say you guys can replace them? If we get the valves?
I think we can fix them.
All right.
I really do. And I do have good help if needed, I can get, rural water will come help me out if I have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
49, 30, 54 is the cost.
So move.
I'll second that.
Have a motion by Lauren and a second by Janda to approve DSG for 49,
30, 54.
49, 30, 54. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Last one is seal coating from Bargain. Is what we do is we put on that agricultural oil that we've been putting on for the last few years. And everywhere I go where we've done that, there's no cracks anymore.
It's gotta be better than the chip seal,
I like chip sealing too in a different way.
but it seems like this stuff is
My street's
seeping
holding up
in.
really good.
Is
Is
this
it?
all
Oh, God,
one
yes.
street or is it many different places all
It's
around?
the ones
Sealer
we
put on
tarred last year, so it's right by the gas station and then down by the care center on both sides. There's 10 feet on both sides.
And this is redoing the seal coating in the same areas or different areas?
No, it's just seal coating over the top of the new tar.
The
we
fresh
put on
tar.
last year.
Fresh tar.
Okay.
And you go down South Broadway, that road is at least 5 years old now.
This piece too, right here.
Yep, in there too. Yep. And there's no cracks.
Yeah, I agree. It seems like it seeps into all the cracks and areas and doesn't allow it to break up.
Gives a little bend to it too, I think. So
Yeah, it's a really good product.
it is expensive, but it's,
And that is budgeted for in our capital expenses for overlays.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion by Lauren and a second by Janda to approve 8785 for Bardens to come in and seal coat. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Need a motion to approve now.
Motion to approve the.
I'll second that.
Have a motion by Janda and a second by Jason to approve the street department report. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? We'll move down to Prairie Senior Cottages Community Engagement.
Where do you have? You don't have the right agenda?
It's on the back.
Still on.
Oh, sorry.
We should
I
still.
turned the page too
No,
fast.
I would argue that if you're gonna talk about compensation, or do you wanna just move that compensation study to the number 8 with there? Let's just tackle it all in one
Yeah.
discussion.
Okay.
Okay,
And if you wanna bump them up. I'm
I
fine.
think that's what we should do.
Okay.
Sorry, you can come back up. We'll just rearrange. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Hi, my name is Missy Zinkus, and I am with Prairie Senior Cottages in New Richland here. I'm with Dustin, our CEO. And we at Prairie Senior Cottages, we serve residents with dementia. We know it's really important for residents to have form connections with people, whether it be family, children, and people in the community. We are starting a community coffee at our cottage every Thursday. It's gonna start this Thursday from 9 to 10. We want to invite the community in to the cottage. I mean, I know a lot of people know that we finished a remodel last year. I've gone door to door with a lot of businesses in town recently to introduce us and hang flyers and invite people in. And we would just love it to have people coming into the cottage. I know a lot of people have voiced that they're curious about what it looks like, now, and we just encourage people to come in and connect with us and our residents. And starting on Thursday from 9 to 10, and we're gonna do it weekly. We'll be getting bakery items from the bakery in town here and making coffee and just hoping we get people in to visit us. So that's all I got. Any questions?
What time of the day was that again?
9 to 10.
Okay.
On Thursdays.
Dustin, you might as well
Yeah.
introduce yourself to the council, the rest of the council too.
Well, I'm Dustin Lee, and I just got city's conversion from Waseca, but now I live in North Greenfield. And then I'm on our board of PC, and we've owned the former, country neighbors, and then Lisa came in, and then I was with Monarch, but we owned it for 5 years, and we remodeled it about 18 months ago during the pandemic, which was an absolute nightmare to try to remodel something during the pandemic. But we're really proud of it. And I'll just say that out of the 7 buildings that we own, it really is my favorite. And I said this earlier when I was at the TDA meeting, but there's 2 secure outdoor courtyards that our residents can go to. And I think it's really important that people who have dementia, all of us, quite honestly, people should be outside. And I'm really proud of it. It's out of all of our buildings now with the remodel. It's my favorite building, and I'm really proud of it. And love for you guys to come in. And I hope that we're good community members also. I think we employ about 17 people. If we were fully staffed, it'd be about.
Wait a minute here.
I'm gonna recruit some, no.
Figured you were that.
These 2 have been wonderful. They came in and introduced themselves to the city staff and have been awesome. They really want to be involved in the community and share what they have to share. And it's great that they're here. And Dustin shared some great things at the ED meeting, some cool ideas that he has. And really looking forward to the partnership that they have with the city of Groups moving forward. So glad that they're here tonight.
I think the string of lights you have around on the top of the fences and some other things it makes it brings something to the, not just a fence there, but it looks cool.
Then we'll move down to we'll backpedal and move down to approve the January 2024 check register.
Questions, Joey?
Yeah, I had one. I'm gonna have a couple. There was a oil change in here for $140 on the second page. $147 for oil change.
Yeah, like I've always said before, it's the first thing that's on the check is what's on there. It was more than likely additional items that were on there. I know there was a battery that was bought for the car, so I'm guessing maybe the battery was on that one. I don't know. Yeah, the oil change wasn't $147.
Okay,
That's true.
all right. Then, and Eric, $20 at Dairy Queen for lunch?
Might have.
That's a lot of Brazier
I
burgers.
also know what the South Dakota, or St. Cloud.
Okay. I think that was on there though, yeah.
You only spent $20. Well, and so that's another one too, where if that was a credit card payment, it's hard to say. That might have been more than one
I
stop.
might have Braden.
Yeah, Braden might have been there too.
Yeah.
Okay, well then then I'm all right. No, I don't.
It's unfortunate that it doesn't give you more information.
That's all I
don't have any questions.
I don't even really look at it.
really.
Move to approve. Check register.
Have a motion by Lauren and a second by Janda to approve the check register. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We'll move down to January 24 financials.
We're under budget for this year.
Yeah, no questions. Looking good.
For 1 month, that's great.
Doing my best.
That's been good.
I don't have any questions.
Anyone have questions?
Move to approve.
Second it.
Have a motion by Lauren and a second by Jan to approve financials. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Number 3, swimming lessons, lifeguards, concession stands.
All right, so we're obviously, we need to keep doing, swimming lessons. Sarah Jo believes we need to run with 4 lifeguards to cover for swimming lessons, just in case somebody gets sick or somebody's not around. My question to you is, do you want to do more lifeguards than just swimming lessons? If you do, then we will need to hire more than that. If you don't wanna do that, it's completely up to you. This last season, to be completely and totally honest with you, we did not see any traffic at the lake nights and weekends. Like, none.
It wasn't like it wasn't.
None. So I don't know if it was just happened to be that's the way it was, or if things were different or what.
Didn't we have problems with like the weeds and everything? Kind of.
Well, that's not gonna go away until the county
Right.
does something. So,
It's probably gonna be worse this year.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
so I just need to know if we could, my thing is, I don't wanna promise 6 kids that they're gonna have a job and then we don't have hours for 6 kids.
Right.
So,
We
What do we
got
have
any that wanna return from last year?
oh yeah, there's, all of them want to return, so there's gonna be some that are gonna get told that they're probably not gonna be able to come back.
Is there any way of looking at some type of marketing plan, but I still know it's gonna be this?
To do what, just women weeds?
Well, yeah, I see your point.
I mean, ultimately, I think that's one of the biggest driving factors is, I mean, even 5 years ago, looking at that product that we had prior to now is night and day. Like, it's just not, and Eric can treat all he wants to, and it's not gonna make a difference. It's just not gonna.
Problem is the seeds are already there.
Yeah, it's growing.
So I think outside of, swimming lessons and, concessions bombed because nobody was out there, so we're not doing concessions this year unless somebody wants to step up from a school or a restaurant or something to do that. But my recommendation to council is to run with, 4 lifeguards, 1 head guard, and 3 lifeguards to run swimming lessons and leave it at that. And if for some crazy reason we see a spike on nights and weekends, I guess we can always hire
I was just gonna ask that.
after the fact,
Sure.
get some more people. But I think that, I did budget for like 8, if we get to that point, but I don't think we're gonna get to that point.
So it's there if we need it.
It is there if we need it.
And I think we'll go with that plan.
Is that motion?
Make a
Yes,
motion
it's a
then.
motion.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to go with the plan that Tony just explained.
So that's I'm not putting words in your mouth, just to verify. That's the 4 lifeguards. Should we see an increase in traffic, I will bring it back to the council.
Second.
Have a motion by Jason, a motion by Jason and a second by Lauren. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Tony, just a quick question. Do we know what schedule we're on or when we're scheduled to have the lake cleaned by the county?
I was told 2025 the last time I heard.
Okay.
I don't know what you've heard.
If you're lucky, it'll be 2025.
Is that right?
I'll put it on my list of notes of things to talk to Doug about.
Do they just do Waseca County? Or do they go like?
Well, it's that
water
boat thing, but
They have their own thing.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just wondering if they rent that out to other counties or does it just stay here?
Well, I
Oh,
know
I think it just stays here.
it stays here, but you gotta get a permit from the DNR.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
just the county can go in.
Can't say, hey, the weeds are growing, let's go cut them?
No.
Does it have to be the county that does it?
I don't know. I'll talk to them.
Do it, make it with room.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Fremont
thinking.
County.
I'll talk to them and
Process
see.
of waiting
if
for the
it's-
DNR to approve everything.
Yeah.
A year or more.
It's really fun.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
Roof
you.
inspections.
Schwickert's reached out again and asked if we wanted to do the roof inspections like we did last year. Again, it's $1,900 to do all the roofs again, to double check.
Do you
to
think
see.
anything's gonna change from last year?
My thought process is maybe this is something we do every 2 years.
That's what I was thinking.
Just because if I remember correctly, without looking back, we did it really late in the season last year, right?
Well, it was like
except for
September.
winter.
Yeah, it was September, October.
So, and I agree with you. I don't think we've got enough damage coming or enough usage coming on a regular basis that I think that if we did it in 2023, if we would do it in 2025.
The end of 2025.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we haven't had any snow or ice.
Oh,
Well, that's another thing too. We've had light snow, low to
Yeah.
light, and you haven't noticed any leaks or anything in the buildings, right? Have you noticed anything?
Mine just has, mine, they put like concrete
Yeah.
pads up there that are disintegrated, but it has nothing to do with the roof.
Yeah. So I would agree with Chad that I think we could forego this year for another year.
I agree with that.
If we don't do this, what would they charge for like a one-time look at it?
This is the price for the inspection.
Right, but I mean, if we thought we had something wrong and asked them to come out for one time instead of doing it for the whole city.
I couldn't tell you. It would probably be.
I'm sure they got a base.
It'd
rate.
probably be the same price as the whole inspection.
Okay.
If I were to guess, I would say that it would probably cost them. I don't think they would come look at the roof for less than $1,000.
Probably not.
So
That's travel time and gas.
They do wonderful work.
they do.
give
And
you
the nice part about it
pictures
was you saw that online stuff with all the maps
Yeah.
and stuff. I mean, that's
Pictures, all kinds of stuff.
pretty phenomenal. But I do think that I agree. I tend to agree that I think we could wait a year if that's your feeling.
So we need a motion to do that, or can you
I
just
would
tell?
like one if you want to wait till 2025.
So move.
I have a motion by Lauren and a second by Janda to wait for the rough inspection of till possibly the fall of 2025.
Okay.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We'll down to squad car repair.
We got some engine mounts and some wheel bearings that need to be replaced on the old car.
Yeah. So
So the engine mount, yeah. So 120312.
well, it has to be fixed.
That's been fixed or they're looking to fix?
No, we have to
approve
fix
it first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the first time the parts are more than the labor.
I know.
Must be easy to work on.
That's what keep the two cars running, so.
Yeah.
Well, this is the older squad, right?
Yeah.
They're almost 10 years, 9 years old.
So move.
I'll second.
Have a motion by Lauren and a second by Janda to fix the 2015 squad car. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We'll move down to the mayor.
So this is just information only at this time. So Chad has advised that he will be moving out of town on the 1st of August, or 1st of August.
Yeah, 1st of August sounds right.
So,
April.
Uh-huh.
just because of the time frame with Sarah leaving and me going on vacation and everything else, I just wanted to lay out all the options so that everybody knew what was going on, so that you guys could make a conscious decision about what was going on. So, with Chad leaving in April, there's a few different things that can happen. The council can wait and not do anything until after he leaves. At that time, April 1st, Lauren would automatically become the mayor pro tem, which means he would still be the council person just acting as mayor. At that time, then at the next meeting, you could either keep running that way until the election, which I don't think benefits anybody in the city of New Richland in any way, shape, or form in their best interest at that time. The other option is to appoint somebody to fulfill Chad's mayor role. That can be one of the council members. That can be anybody from the citizenry that wishes to do so. Should you choose to appoint somebody from the council, they would assume the remainder of his term. Their term would be up. So as I looked at it, I believe that Lauren and Jason were just elected. So if those two were to take up Chad's term, then their terms would expire at the end of this year. Since Janda and Jody are up this year, if they were to be the one that would be appointed, then they would just, their term would just be out at the end of the year. And then, so if that's the way, then you would like, if you would like to go that way and appoint one of these council members to fill that spot, then that would then trigger another council opening where you would be able to appoint somebody to fill that spot until the election.
I know the last time it happened, they opened it and then they had letter of interest.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did.
Yeah,
That's what I did, yeah.
Yep.
I think we should go that route.
So what I'm hoping the council will take this information and take it away and think about what they want to do. If there's anybody from this current council that's wishing to step into that role and fill out Chad's remaining term, or if nobody's wanting to do it, or whatever you want to do, bring that information back to me next time, or just tell me we don't want to handle it until after Chad's gone. Just give me some directions so that I know at the next meeting, and we can go from there. But at this time, it's just kind of information to chew on, to kind of know how the process is going to work. So, all right.
All right.
To the lake. It'd be annexed to the lake, that would be a lot of work.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Hope you got a lot of money, because I'd like sewer and water.
Yeah, that,
We could probably do it the last meeting.
Yeah, you don't have to do it right now. We can wait, I think. We can wait.
We'll move down to Eric, water supervisor / operator /
would you want me to say something? Okay, I think remember when we were in a position because we had lost some people or a person, Andy Flatness had agreed to do this, I think on a temporary basis. Well, it's been a couple of years at $500 a month. One of the things that, Eric now has both of his licenses, and also he writes all the reports. He just isn't collecting the water and doing the testing. Is that correct? I mean, I don't know for sure. I'm just.
You're real close on that. I don't write the reports either.
Oh, you don't? Oh, I thought you did. Okay.
But you can write the reports?
Okay. All right. Well, sorry, I misspoke. I thought that's what you were doing. You were getting information. But anyway, I think we spent the money for him to go to school, to get the certifications, to do these jobs. Now we should hire him to do that as part of his regular job and duties. And I didn't look at his job description to see what's in there or what it says, and that may necessitate changing of his job description if he's going to do this now. But I think that we should, my recommendation is to pay him the $500 a month, maybe in 2 separate payments, the first of the month and the second of the month.
What is it, 2 weeks
Well,
here?
It's fine.
That job duty is in his job description.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
I wasn't sure. I didn't know.
So that's kind of why I pitched that classification and compensation stuff to start with.
Okay.
That's why we needed to address some of this stuff.
Okay.
So,
Well, depends on the pleasure of the rest of the council, but I think if we were paying someone in the past, we should at least some portion of that, if it's not $500, $400 or something, we should compensate him for doing this. Now, I don't know, everybody else can, and that's my feeling, that's what I think we should do.
are the same services being provided is what's happening? The well reports, all that stuff you're doing.
That would be, yeah.
He would have to do.
He's not doing them.
You can now do what Andy's been doing
Correct.
legally.
Yeah.
Legal
How
pay.
long are them licensed good for? You gotta have continuing ed on that? And then you gotta retake a test, or it's just continuing ed?
Just continue in that.
You have to have so many hours every 3 years to renew it.
I guess the first question is that something you would want, be comfortable doing? What Andy does?
I think I'm ready for it.
Was Ryan
Should be
doing that
compensated
before
for it.
he left?
Yeah, of course. I agree.
Yeah.
Totally.
feel like we should let Andy know that Eric's gonna be taking that over and then
Sure.
going from there.
Well,
I mean,
he just got paid $500. I don't know what that time period was
That was
for January.
probably for January.
Okay.
so we're not, will he still have another one that we're gonna be paying?
I don't know.
He'll have one for the month of February, I'm sure.
Yeah. And since March 1st, I mean, it kind of seems to fit since March 1st is Friday. I mean, I'm sure he's expecting it at some point in time. He knew when he took the position that would be until,
Well, I'm sure they've had conversations.
Yeah. all right. So it's not going to be like a surprise or a shock to him. I mean, we're really grateful that we should express that in a letter to him, that he has been doing this and willing to be patient while Eric finished his coursework.
If there's something that we needed to have, I'm assuming if Eric was gone for vacation, is that something he would step
Yeah.
in still, or we could have that?
Well,
agreed upon?
that wouldn't affect that.
Okay.
Unless he
I
was
wasn't
gone,
sure.
yeah, unless he was gone from home.
Yeah.
If it was a long time, maybe. Like,
Right.
I'd help them.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's a mutual kind of.
Yeah, so it's really the pleasure of the rest of you. I mean, I think he should be compensated. And maybe if it's not the full 500, which I think it should be, and maybe you want me to make a motion on to that, then we can see where it goes.
I feel like we should compensate him with what we were paying Andy, because
Yeah,
he's
that's
doing
my-
the
I
same
agree with
amount of
that
work.
too.
Yeah, that's my, is that a motion?
So, how are you paying him that as a private contractor then? Are you paying him, how are you structuring that? That's what I need to know.
Yeah,
My thinking is $500, a 40-hour week, right? Times 4 is 160. You take the 500 divided by 160, it's a little over $3 an hour. $3 an hour and change, right?
I
Can we do that?
understand where you're coming from, but this is already something that's in his job description. So you're giving him a bonus on top of his current job description. What I'm trying to figure out is how we
When
structure that.
I wasn't here, so
Yeah.
when the council, agreed to pay for the schooling, was there an agreement that there would be an increase in pay once certifications was done? And if that, what it was, might not have been determined at that time,
no.
but, I mean, that would be,
Well, we didn't reduce his salary or hourly rate when he wasn't doing it.
no, but I'm saying.
No, I'm just saying that in comparison to now giving him an increase when he's now going to do it.
Right.
Seems like the right thing to do.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just wondering if there was something agreed that we would look at that once he got the certifications, that he would get an increase? Or do we do the
Well,
straight
I'd have to
out?
go back and look at the minutes. I can't
Yes.
remember.
That's why I'm saying, does it maybe make sense that we look at this whole compensation thing? Maybe we do need an outside person to look at that job description and reevaluate it and say that this is the case.
Yeah.
How long does that take?
That might take a while.
Oh, DDA would have a turnaround, like, I would say a couple weeks.
And then would we retro that back to the start
Council
date?
could do whatever they wanted to do.
I'd say then he'd start doing it in March 1st.
March 1st, and then we
And
can
they-
retro it back.
then we
when
just-
The council could choose to retro back to January 1st if they want to do that with anybody's position.
I mean, it's not like we don't have the money because
Right.
it's already been budgeted.
Correct.
So
And I'm
it's just
fine
how we
with-
want to
Well,
handle how
I'm-
Tony's talking
If
about it.
it's,
That's how
if
we
you
wanna
break it
handle
down like Jody did, it's $3 more an hour,
Mhm.
correct?
Correct.
Well,
Up
roughly.
thereabouts.
Well,
Right.
and the reason that I say that, it might be something simple as, so when they did the job descriptions initially, they based the job description based on decision-making skills, all that stuff, and then there's a point value assigned to the skills. So let's say, do you remember off the top of your head, your position was grade 5, that's on grade 2 or something like that? So let's say Eric's in grade 5, and his range is like 150 to 200, right? And so grade 6 is 201 to 250. So let's say Eric's job description put him at 150. Okay, well, by looking at his job description and his functions and everything else, that they might have looked at what he was doing and thought one thing was 40 points, and he maybe thinks it was 46, or I maybe think it was 42.
Sure.
Well, we can go back and look at all those things, and now maybe his position's at 205. Well, now he moves up to a grade 6.
Okay.
Well, now we get that $3 you guys are looking to compensate him based on that movement.
My-
You know what I'm saying?
My question, so right now it's a maintenance lead position, and that's what the duties are with the
Yes,
water?
the water part is part of that.
So what does it take to do to bring him up to a supervisor versus?
That's not the job description.
It's not a job description, we don't have, okay. I was just wondering, I didn't know.
No.
Good question, though.
Because, and the reason is at one time there used to be a water superintendent and a street person. That's how it used to break down.
Oh,
So the water person did the water stuff, the street person did the street person stuff. So Eric's job kind of crafted into a dual role,
mm-hmm. Okay,
so.
well,
But there, I mean, if the old, yeah, there's a lot more parts than just to, you know what I'm saying?
Could
Yeah.
that compensation plan, if we reviewed that, could
Well-
we be able to make a supervisor position for it?
The only,
And using that money.
Too much analytics, Jesus.
well, here's the deal. I wish you would have said something before the meetings and I would have pulled out everything and then I would have put all this together for us and we would have had this conversation prior.
my apologies, sorry.
So,
I didn't think it'd be so complicated.
yeah,
Me too.
so, yeah, I don't know what you wanna do. If you wanna make,
Let's table it and have you look up the stuff for next meeting.
I don't know what you wanna do.
Let's table
Do you want him to be just the maintenance supervisor and that's what you wanna call the position and we recraft the job
Put
description?
all those other things under it.
Let's look at that option to see if it's
What are your
viable.
thoughts?
Eric, yeah, what do you think?
Would you rather craft it as supervisor and then just umbrella that all? Would that be easier?
Well, it's basically what you do already.
I was gonna say, isn't that his job now?
Right.
Yeah, it was just called maintenance lead.
Yeah,
That's what it was
And
called.
always remember now, he could step up to a class B water license.
Right,
If he ever chose to.
but that's not what the
Same.
job description says. The job description
No,
says
but
class
he could.
C, right? Yeah.
Most towns give,
But could the compensation plan review as supervisor include what she just said?
Well, you can always do required
Yeah.
and then
But
preferred.
we don't need
Yeah.
a class B here, so.
Okay.
why would we need a class B license?
you don't have to, but it's a
Yeah.
really good idea. Just
Right.
saying.
And I would also think for maybe, God forbid, if he wanted to move somewhere else, that's a stepping stone for him to do something greater.
Well, Lauren, would you be interested in working with me in
Sure.
drafting that?
Yeah, I can help.
If the council is willing to let me pull that job description and go through it and get it figured out.
Okay,
But we still need to I still think there's value in going through that process again and making sure that those things are
Sure.
okay.
Yep.
no, that's fine.
The only trigger is that we have to do the 3-year, but I don't think that's a bad thing.
Do you get input from the employees on
Well,
what that should be?
My thought process is if we're gonna contract with them, I'm gonna hand every employee their job description and go through and have them either cross out things or not.
So if we do this, I
Makes
think
sense.
we
Makes sense.
recommend that it gets retro back to March 1st.
Yeah, to March 1st.
Yeah.
Because that's fair to Andy and for everybody.
Well,
else
and then the
involved.
other thing with that too is you're also gonna get current market data for the police department, you're gonna get current
Oh.
market data for all the other positions.
Good, that's what we need.
And then those things you probably won't be able to address now because
Of
the
the
budget's
budget.
already been set and there's really not a lot we can do about it. But
Okay,
those are things that you can have, that add value to the budget discussion.
Sure.
for
Once
2025.
that compensation plan is complete, could we require annual evaluations and feedback from?
Everybody gets
all
annual
employees?
evaluations.
Yeah, I mean, could they do it at the end of that compensation plan review? Once we say this is things that may have changed, some may not change, but do their evaluation at the start of that new plan. You know what I'm saying?
we should
Even
do
if
it during
even
the
if it
fiscal
isn't-
year.
I do my evaluations based on their anniversary dates because otherwise I have 10 to do it at the same time.
Yeah, that's why I was asking, because this plan may start a new cycle.
Well, no, because,
If they're still doing the same, they're doing the same job, might have some additional things, they're still an employee and it's still working throughout the year.
So like-
To evaluate everything.
Yeah, so let's say because we're picking on Eric tonight anyway, so let's say we make Eric this new utility supervisor or maintenance supervisor position. What I foresee would be happening is that here's the new job description and Eric starts. In 6 months, I have an initial review based on the new job description, but then after that, we go back to his annual review. Based on
Wouldn't that timeframe start your annual review?
No, my annual review is on
Why not?
the date that he
On the
started work.
It's the day you start working
Gotcha.
or in that position.
Yeah, because that's his anniversary date with the city.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So if that's the way you want to go, then I would need approval to enter into contract with David Brown for that 3,000 per year to do the job descriptions. And that's maintenance. So every year they will if needed, they will rewrite all the job descriptions and then reevaluate
Sure.
and remarket, classify. And then that would be split between every department that's affected by the job description.
I think that's a good plan.
I think that's a good idea. So move.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Lauren and a second by Jason to enter the contract with, what was the name of that again?
David Brown and Associates.
David Drown for $3,000. All in favor, say aye.
Can I make a question?
Yep.
Oh, no.
What's this guy right here?
You can email me tomorrow.
Yeah. Man, I
So
just
then
lost
I
that
think
thought.
after
Yeah, it was
this,
a good-
do that and then it backdates to March 1st.
Yeah, we can put that in the motion when we get information back from Tony and we get the thing redone.
You don't need that in the minutes to backdate it to March 1st after this?
We want
obviously?
We won't,
We'll wait till the compensation plan's there.
then we can do it at that time.
I didn't know if it needed to be noted someplace.
We have it on record, recorded, that we would.
Well,
Just covering the
this
bases.
is just a good idea. Let's talk about
No,
it.
I know.
So we'll move down to celebration going away party for Sarah Joe.
So as you know, Sir Joe's heading out to the city of Janesville, so we will be throwing her a little soiree on the 8th of March from 3 to 4 p.m. Cake and coffee. Stop by, wish her good luck. Say
Yeah.
thank you. I'll attend.
She was here, what, 9 years?
9 years, a little over 9 years, yep. So,
That's great.
She's still gonna stay in town?
yeah, she'll stay here, yep.
She'll be on the ambulance?
As far as I know, yeah.
And then we'll move down to the administrator's report.
Finishing up with the ABDO, they'll be here next week to complete our audit. How's your audit coming?
That's why I was chuckling about that when you said financials. He must be working with Larson Allen.
No, it's not because of them. It's coming along fine.
Fire.
Yeah.
Bye, Shel.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think ours is supposed to be done in March.
Okay.
We thought it was gonna be done today, but something happened.
Okay. Still working with our new utility vendor. They're having some issues with all of our final accounts, all 299 of our final accounts that no longer live or are getting billed are pulling into the new system. And I either have to go through every 299 account by hand and uncheck 3 boxes, or they've got to find a way to not accept those submissions in order to figure out how to not get them to come in.
I make a
Oh,
motion, we
jeez.
have 20 minutes.
Oh, I don't have time. So they're working on that to try to get that to work. So hopefully we're still on date for the March rollout of that. Met with Home Serve regarding that sewer line and protection stuff. They're super excited. They got all our initial information. I sent them a list of local plumbing agencies that they're gonna vet. They try to use local agencies for any of their stuff. Review the job description, compensation information, that's all posted for the city clerk position. Work with the engineer, see the information coming, worked on the water plant issues, worked with the Block Consulting. There's not many people that have birthdays at the beginning of the year apparently, so Don Tang and Fernando, that's on the list.
So Tony, I'm sure there are specific things that Sarah Joe was doing. So do kind of have a plan, like,
No.
like, I don't know. I don't know, I'm guessing of bank things or billing things that, can you do all that?
Yeah, those things aren't, the biggest thing, the biggest concern that I have right now is utility billing, because I legitimately have not, I've done my best to stay out of that as much as possible.
Okay.
Because I don't want to screw anything up, because it's kind of
It's
Technical
a
thing?
system that she's got.
it's not really a technical thing, but it's the software. I just.
Oh, okay.
Just don't want to deal
What
with
Okay.
software is it? Bannon?
So,
We didn't
Figure
do
that out.
Bannon, so-
well, bless her heart, she's gonna come back and help me out on the 13th, I think, with getting through the water
Okay.
bills and getting everything sent out. As far as checks, invoices, bank register, all that stuff, that's not a problem.
You can do that.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Okay.
I did talk to Abdo. They volunteered to allow us to compensate them very well for help if we choose to.
Yeah,
have
of
somebody
course.
come over And help. So there is that option available if we need to.
And they did that before, didn't they?
No, we actually had the Minnesota Council of Governments.
Oh, okay, I know somebody helped us out. Yeah.
Because if worst case scenario, if they have to answer phones for us for a week, they can answer phones for us for a week.
Okay.
If I need them to do that.
And we had
Is
the
that what you do
applicants
when
yet?
you're on vacation?
Yeah.
Is having them do that?
When
Have we had any
expect
applicants
this
for
to
the
be filled?
job yet?
What?
When do you expect the position to be filled?
I don't know.
By April?
I hope so. I hope it's filled by the 15th of April at the latest.
Have you had any applicants?
I've not had any applications. I've had 4 phone calls and 2 very surprising phone calls, actually. So I have a pretty good feeling about filling the position.
Okay, good.
Just a matter of the time.
Yeah.
So it's out there to be seen?
Yep, it's on the League of Minnesota Cities website. It's been posted on our Facebook page. It has been,
I think a few people have shared it.
yeah. So it's out and about.
Mhm.
On our website.
On our website. Yeah, so.
So
we'll
the
just
week
have to
he's
see.
gone, you might be gone at school. Have to go man the phones.
Yeah.
I can handle it.
But, yeah, we'll be
I won't
okay.
give them the right information, but I can answer the phone.
We'll be okay. I think the plan will be is that we'll probably pay a bunch of bills ahead right before I leave. So there's not,
A lag in there.
yeah.
Okay,
So,
that makes good sense.
but I think there shouldn't be anything pressing. And see, the worst part is she's living on the 8th. Abdo's here the whole week of the 8th for their final audit stuff. And I've got league meeting. Yeah, it's all good.
Not good timing ever when someone leaves. Yeah.
But, no, so she's helping us out. She's actually done a really good job of putting together this really nice binder. And she was asking me about something today, and I said, well, why are you doing that? And she goes, well, I'm not very good about learning computer stuff, so I'm actually like screenshotting pictures of everything and putting it in here. So that's the only way that I can learn. And so she's got a really nice binder for whoever's taking over about every little thing that she does. So
Okay.
it's pretty
That's
awesome.
That's good.
She's doing a
Well,
very nice
the
job.
main thing is she's leaving on good terms, so if you got a question,
Great
you can
terms.
reach
No,
out to her.
great terms.
Well, it sounds like you have a good plan, Tony.
Yeah, it's not a great plan, but it's a plan, and we'll
Well, okay,
we'll get
sounds
through.
like you got a plan,
Yeah,
Tony.
we'll get through. It is what it is.
That always happens when you have small departments and key people leave, you just,
Worst case scenario, I call Clinton and yell a little bit, and then.
Yeah.
All I need then.
send her over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good, thank you. Move to adjourn.
We have to accept the administrative report.
Do we? Okay.
Administrator.
I'll second.
Have a motion by Jana and a second by Jody to accept the city administrator's report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
Good job.
Now we can adjourn.
Now we can
make a motion.
Move to adjourn.
Have a motion by Laura and a second by Janda to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. All opposed?
Oh,
Meeting
that's a
adjourned.
good one.